Identity with Tayameaca. Hi and welcome to another episode of Explore Your Identity. Here we delve into conversations about different aspects of our identity, both positive and negative, that have shaped who we are today. I am Tayameaca, and my phenomenal guest today is Esther Jonas. Esther is mom to a double-weight world boxing champion. She is also mom to a soon-to-be counselor, and she is also mom to an MMA professional fighter. Welcome, Esther, and thank you so much for allowing this conversation today.
Oh, you're welcome.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. A little bit nervous, but I'm fine.
Oh, you'll be fine. I always like to start off with a little bit about your background since we're exploring your identity today. So, Esther, take me back to a particular instance or situation in your childhood that you feel has shaped who you are today.
I would say probably growing up in a big family. I've got 9 brothers and sister. Didn't have much, but we always got Christmas, we always got Easter and so on. And I think it was the fact that our mum just brought us up, just making sure that we all loved one another, and still up to today, all these years on, my sister and brothers, we just live in each other's pockets, and the love hasn't changed, if not grew and got better.
Amazing. So you grew up as that household of 9 siblings?
9 siblings, yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And how do you feel that family unit shaped you today? Like, is there anything in particular that you feel like has been like a positive or a negative as being part of a big family?
Yeah, I think it's being able to show empath, and I think that, you know, that goes to all my sisters and brothers as well. So if there's one thing what's come out of it, you know, we wear our heart on our sleeve. So
are you the first, the last, in the middle?
So I'm second to last. So we always laughed at, so the 5 eldest was the best dressed, and the 5 youngest got the hand-me-down. So it was kind of like when me and my youngest sister first up best dressed, so I'd rob my older sister's clothes and we'd run off out, you know, shoes 2 feet, 2 sizes, you know, too big for us. We stuffed them with tissue, as you done, we was off out.
Yeah.
Getting shouted at out the window.
How many girls, how many boys?
So there's 5 girls and there's 5 boys.
Oh,
the
wow.
5 girls includes me.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah,
So you definitely didn't run out of clothes.
No.
Wow. Right, so were you always in Liverpool, or what was it like? Did you always live in Liverpool? Were you always brought up in Liverpool?
Yeah, no, we was always brought up in Liverpool in Cardwell Street, so up in Wavertree. And then at the age of 11, we moved into Canning Street. And that's where we've kind of lived ever since.
And what age were you when you moved out, if I may ask?
I was 11. When I moved out as an adult.
Yes.
So as an adult, I think I was 23 when I moved out, and I had Tasha at the age of 15. So it was kind of like, you know, I had a lovely supportive family. My mum was just the best. So we kind of lived there for the first 6 years. And then looking at my life, you know, leaving school at 15, it was sort of like, do I want that for my daughter? And plus the fact you have that stereotypical of, you know, oh, she had Natasha when she was 15, so the cycle begins, it'll happen to Tasha, and, you know, and so on. So, you know, so that I was always conscious of that, and I always wanted better. You know, now I'm a mum, I've got responsibilities, I've got this child who I absolutely love immensely, and I wanted the best for her. So then I kind of met a man, lovely, you know, kind of the first couple of weeks, first couple of months kind of swept me off my feet, you know, really good to me and really good to Tasha. So,
and how old was Tasha then?
So Tasha was 6 at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, And he had a good outlook on life, you know, and especially for Tasha's education, you know, as well as, you know, focusing on, you know, me, you know, going back to college, you know, getting all my, you know, A-levels and all things like that, what I obviously I didn't achieve at the age of 15. And then...
So what was your initial attraction to him? Was it that he had drive and...
Yeah, I think because he was different, shall we say, he was different. So it was kind of, for me, is okay, he's a nice guy, you know, I fell for him. He was good with Tasha, and I was like, you know, so it kind of moved on pretty fast. And probably, I would say, probably a year into it, I was kind of like, okay.
So take me back. So here you are, you're a 15-year-old, you've had this beautiful baby girl. What are your aspirations at this point? Like, do you even realize, like, I know you mentioned that, you know, people kind of stereotyped you in terms of what you become or what your child would become, but what was going on in your head, and where were you mentally, and how were you coping?
I think, if I'm being totally honest, I think because my mum kind of stepped in for the role with me. So I was kind of like still a free spirit, shall we say, because my mum, I'm not saying the responsible was my mum's, but she kind of... She was there, you know. So it was, but always in the back of my mind, I was always conscious that I don't want this life for Tasha. You know, it's my responsibility. You know, I gave birth to her, so it's my responsibility as a mum to make sure, you know, she's guided and she gets the best possible education and future ahead of her. So it was kind of like that for me. It was always in the back of my mind, you know. And I'm not saying that we're still going out, you know, we're still going on nights out, you know, and things like that. But that was always in the back of my mind.
So you meet this man.
Yeah.
Is this when you moved out or before you moved out?
So this was before I moved out. I think the start of it was I started thinking there was little traits of control, and I suddenly thought, wow, I'm not used to this, because as I said, my family was free spirits. You know, there was none of that. So I was conscious of it, but I thought, you know what, I've never experienced it. Maybe it's, you know, it's just the norm in some other households.
And you were still quite young.
And I was still quite young, yeah. And then, you know, to cut probably about a year out of it, I moved in together. And then from that point on, it was just disastrous, shall we say. You know, and I know it's crazy to say it, you know, because I always, when you talk about, you know, a narcissist or someone who controls you, you know, the first thing I always find people always say is, you know, why didn't you get out? I wouldn't put up with it, you know, or there's no way, and there's all that things. But when you kind of being moulded into a person who is absolutely terrified, I was absolutely petrified. So people couldn't see this because I didn't show it, you know. So I kind of say to them, when for me, you know, I did not want to die. You know, straight up, I did not want to die. I was terrified. The thought of dying terrified me. And because I was terrorised that much, that kept me there, because I wasn't ready to die.
So what would come first? Is it like a mental torture, or like, because I'm conscious of the fact that when women go through stuff, sometimes like men really like beat you down mentally first, and like just take out your self-esteem, your confidence, your who you are, your identity.
So certainly my identity he took from me, but it sounds bizarrely when I say it was the fact that what way can I put this? It was kind of the fact that it started out where, why did I want to go out with my friends? He didn't want to go out with his friends. Why are you wearing that? Because, you know, I'm a man. I know a man looks at other women. And then it was kind of like, so gradually the stop and come, you know, he started to stop me from doing things. And as I said, you know, some people, like I said, it'd say, you know, oh, I'd have done this, I'd done that. But when you fear for your life, it's a totally different subject, you know, and anyone what comes to me and tells me other, you know, I would stand there and beg to differ.
As this is going on, because I'm aware of the fact that it's a gradual process, isn't it? You kind of look back and then you realize that, oh, how did I get here?
Yeah.
But were you, I know you've said like you were afraid, you feared for your life, but were you ever aware of exactly the situation you were in? Or
Every day, because every day I didn't want to be in that situation. You know, the time when I got pregnant with Kelsey, I suddenly thought,
Kelsey's your
second daughter, I suddenly thought, here comes more control. And then when Liam come, it was even more control. So I was always in that fright mode, always in that fright mode. What way is he going to come in? Is he going to come in as someone I'd give him a bad day at home, outside, and then I knew, oh God, what way is the door getting slammed? What day the door's getting shut? And it's kind of bizarre because as much as people coming in and out of my house, you know, I don't know whether anyone's ever read up on a narcissist, and this is just my take on it. Me saying narcissist, you know, someone might view him in a whole different light, but for me, the world will love a narcissist. But on the inside, it's a totally different story, and that's what it's all about. It's about kind of gaining power on the outside. You know, everybody loves you. You know, there's no way this guy or this woman, because, you know, it's not just
and
men.
That's how it
you know,
was for
it's
you.
women. It happen. You know, women do it against men as well. So it's not just a man thing. It's just that the percentage is higher with narcissists and men. And I kind of just, in my heart of heart, I knew one day I would be free. I knew in my heart of heart. And I always look at it now, looking back in. I always look at it, I'm not a victim. You know, I kind of look back. So when I actually left, I went into meditation and all things like that, and kind of spiritual. I love all that side of things. And then for me, it was suddenly like, do you know what? I think I've just earned a 28-year degree.
Wow.
And within that degree, for me to come out to where I am now and, you know, my new life, my new job, I think I had to feel every single emotion what a narcissist has to offer. And I think by going through every single one of them emotions, I'm here with a job and I can give the best tools in the world. However, that's all I can give. I can only give them tools. Everyone's mindset's different. Same as a narcissist. You know, you cannot change somebody. You can give them tools to work with, you know, and I just think that I've gained a 28-year degree. So, you know, I forgive him. And the reason why I forgive him is because I have to be my authentic self. And if I didn't forgive, I wouldn't be my authentic self.
That's amazing.
So, you know, so it's an everlasting degree.
How did you get the courage to finally make that move, to free yourself? How did you get to your freedom?
So it was my 50th birthday. You know, by this time now, bear in mind, I'm a grandmum. I was going to say grandma, but I'm a grandmum.
Glam
So, and you know, and what you've got to think about as well along the way, he hasn't just controlled me, he's controlled all of us. You know, it was the whole of us, you know, suffered domestic abuse, you know, and so at the time, me protect them as I thought I was protecting them, obviously because they don't know what's going on with what he's doing to me. They're only seeing what he's doing to all of us, You know, when we sat around a table and we discussed it, you know, they hit me with things that I was like, I wasn't even aware of. You know, so they, you know, so then I'm suddenly sat there thinking, wow, did you really think that of me? Or did you think that of me? Or did you think I was doing that? Because when you're in flight and fright mode and you think you're doing your best, sometimes your best, what you think you're doing is doing more damage. But it's nice because we all come together, we all talked about it, you know, and I'm quite open and my children are quite open, and it was like, whatever you have to say to me as a mum, please tell me. I don't want you to go away with a what if, you know, whether it hurts me to the core, hurts my soul to the core, tell me, you know, and that's what we did, and that's what we done. But it was on my 50th, so it was leading up to one of Tasha's fights in the Echo Arena. And it always started off with the, I think it was Mother's Day, actually. And bear in mind, I hadn't been out on Mother's Day for 28 years. Wow. So I'd never, ever been out with my mum and my sisters because there was always a barrier put in front. His famous word to this day rings, you used to always say, prevention is better than cure. And that's how it was always just justified. Prevention is better than cure. So on my 50th, it was the time of Tasha's boxing, and it was Mother's Day. So Tasha said to me and Kelsey said to me, no, Mum, what we're going to do is we're going to go out, and after the boxing, we're going to celebrate Mother's Day, and and then Sunday we'll just all have a relax and relax because we're all going to be out. Mm-hmm. So I'd said to him, you know, Tash and Kelsey have suggested, and then it starts off, you know, obviously to Mother's Day, your lads, I know what lads like, they've got mates, you know, they're going to be there, there's girls there, so it's the same type of thing, and then you suddenly go, do you know what, no, I'm not going, and then it's like, well, I didn't tell you couldn't go. Do you see what I'm saying? But he's so I think it was it was that week I suddenly thought, do you know what, I'm 50. Now, this is what I'm about to say to you. This is going to might sound to the world totally bizarre, because it sounds mad when I say this, because when I talk about God, I don't talk about him as a person. Mm-hmm. Okay, to me, he's everything around us, within us and around us. So I remember laying there one night and thinking, okay, Esther, if you died tomorrow and you got asked, how was your life? I would say it was absolutely okay. Mm-hmm. I thought, if you leave and have one day of freedom and then you die, what will you say? I had the best day of my life. One day, but it was the best day of my life. And that was the day I decided to have one day. And I always say, when I'm talking to people, I always say, it's like smoking. Some people smoke, they say they give up and they go on the vape. Yeah, you haven't really give up smoking. For me, I had to give it all up for my freedom. And you know what? It didn't matter what cost it was going to cost me. I was going to have one day of freedom. So I remember that day, I was going to work and it was a Wednesday, and I always had one night, a late night, and it was always on a Wednesday. And I got up and I'm thinking, okay, this is the day. Goes off to work. I remember passing him on the stairs, going into work, and bear in mind, I used to always get text messages, phone calls, you know, always having to be there. Can I just go back as well? One of the other things is so my brothers, because he knew my brothers and immediate family males, that was fine for me to be seen with them. Anyone male, I could not be seen walking out the street with or even talking to, because it was a male. And for him, for whatever reason, narcissist reasons, ego reasons, that could not be seen, me talking to any man. So anyway, so going back, so I remember him phoning me in work. I just said, do you know what, this is the last day you will ever control my life. And he put the phone
You
down.
said that to him?
Yeah, and I think he put the phone down in shock because he's someone that is controlled for 28 years. Suddenly, how dare you? And he phoned me back and I said, this is the last day you ever control me. And you know what? That was the last day he ever controlled me. I phoned Tash and Kelsey up and I said to him, Tash, Kelsey, I've gone. And Tasha said to me, right, I'm going to get Kelsey, get a bottle of wine, go to Nan's, where's your stuff? So I said, all I want is my clothes. That is all I wanted. And bear in mind as well, the other thing is I had Liam still lived at home. So not also did I make that decision, I was leaving that day. My heart as well was the fact that my son was still at home. He was an adult. He had a job, but he was still there. But do you know what? I had to do what I had to do for me.
And he was an adult.
And he was an adult. And do you know what? He come to me and he said to me, Mum, I am with you. I've got your back. And that's all I needed to hear.
So Esther, if there's anybody that will be listening and their question is, why did you stay that long? Because this is something I see so often when I'm reading through comments on social media, when there's a situation that involves some kind of control, some kind of abuse between a man and a woman. And usually it's a situation where somebody's been in a long-term relationship and people are like, oh, they're lying. Why would they stay that long? You can relate to this. Like, what would you say to people that feel that way?
Unless you're in it, don't pass judgment. That's all I'm saying. I probably, after about a year, now bear in mind I was in this relationship for 28 years. After a year, I had no love whatsoever. No love whatsoever. I was just living in a household totally every day thinking, wow, what's today going to bring? And like I said before, earlier on, I knew people go, why didn't you leave? All them things. I did not want, straight up, I did not want to die. And I was terrorised that much to believe if I went, I would die. And I did not want to die. I had so much living to do. It's going back, I feel all these years, I don't feel like I was the best mum to my children because I wasn't allowed to be the mum I wanted to be. When I talked about having kids and having a family, I knew what type of mum I wanted to be. But I feel like I never ever got that chance. But you know what? It's happened. It's done. It's gone. And all I've got is the future with my kids. And just to be the person I am today. And probably the good thing and the best thing I look at with my 3 children is from that day on when I left, they got me, the real mum. And that's all what matters.
I'm almost tempted to say that you can't have done a bad job because they've really turned out to be amazing kids. So as much as you feel that you weren't the best mom that you could be, I'm proud that you've brought up amazing children.
Thank you.
I'm proud for you.
Thank you.
If you had to say something to that Esther that was afraid, that was terrified, what would you say?
Do you know what? I'd tell her, so I'd look in the mirror and I'd say to her, do you know what? What your 28 years has done for me is made me, is moulded me into the person I am today. And I could not get, I'm a woman where I will stand there and I will say, I am strong, I am beautiful, I am powerful.
Oh, yes.
Because
affirm it.
So, she hasn't gone. She hasn't gone because she is always my reminder to how strong I am today. So that Esther 20 years ago is my little sidekick to say, you know what, you've got this, Esther. You've got this, Esther. So she's here. But, you know, she's just my little angel on my shoulder, shall we say.
I can imagine you had to always be strong for your children throughout all that. How do you think, or do you remember how you kind of gave them strength through it all?
It's hard to say during the time, because as I said, we was all on survival mode. I was on survival mode, and it's kind of like, you know, if I look back and said I should have done this and I should have done that, then that still lives in my head rent free. You know, that experience, them 28 years, and they've gone. So I can't go back and say, you know, how they felt or what was going on. But what I can say now is that after talking to them and explaining how I really felt, because remember, even though they seen the abuse, they didn't see half of it. Mm-hmm. They only seen what was on the surface, because a lot of this abuse happened when either they wasn't there or mentally. So, you know, so all I can say to you know, starting off with Tasha is, you know, I love her, and, you know, and all I can say is whatever pain I caused her in that situation, you know, all I can say is, I'm sorry, Kelsey, same, all I can say for bringing you into the world with you know, a narcissist father. All I can say is I love you and I'm sorry. And Liam, all I can say to you for bringing you up in a household with a narcissist I don't even want to say husband, actually, father, is, you know, I'm sorry and I love you. And you know what? But we're adults now. We're adults. And now they all have choices. They're free and they have choices to do whatever they want to do. Same way I have a choice, because I'm free, to do whatever I want to do. And whatever I want to do is to be the mum, be the nan, and also, you know, is continue to saving women who's been in my situation and still living in my situation. You know, if I can help and change one woman's life, I've done my job.
Amazing. So I just want to touch a little bit on your current path right now.
Yeah.
Have you been able to use some of those experiences to, like, moving forward? How has that shaped your journey, your current path?
So, yeah, so I started doing courses and doing voluntary work for domestic abuse. And as I started doing it, that was at that point I suddenly realised, you know what, I was destined. This was my journey to be where I am today. Because you know what, when I get up now, I don't get up to go to work. I get up to go and save somebody. Mm-hmm. And that's the difference.
Wow.
So, you know, so I feel like I said, I'm not going to dwell on it. It's gone. I can never ever get it back. But you know what? I earned a degree and I'm here to help whoever needs help. And
do you ever stop and like look back on your life and think, wow, this was an achievement for me, like on a personal level?
No, because I'm here today. Mm-hmm. That's gone.
Yes.
Do you see what I'm saying? And I don't want to give, you know, Esther 28 years ago, even though I say to you, you know, she's my little angel on my shoulder, she's gone and she doesn't want to be reminded. It's done. It's over. So I'm, you know, sitting in this chair now. I am the real Esther. I'm the Esther everyone knows from a kid. Snotty Nose Esther, because that was my nickname as a child, because I always had two candles. So that just echoes. So when people come and see me now and they go, oh my God, is that Esther, Snotty Nose Esther? We laugh about it. Yeah. And you know what? So now I'm back to where I was all them years ago.
In those 28 years, how did your home life and your home situation affect your friendships? Were you able to actually open up to anybody, or did people just look at you and think, oh, it's just normal life?
I kind of think, I think everyone knew close to me what was going on. But you know, once again, I think because I was so embarrassed by the fact that I was in a situation where I was being controlled through fear. But one thing I do remember, I have acquaintances as friends, you know, and I've got Lorraine, who is my old school friend, who's my best friend. I have Susie, who her mum and my mum was best friends, and she become my best friend. And then I have me cousin Sharon. And then in lockdown, I met Kelly. You've met Kelly. And you know what? We just bonded so much in lockdown. So, you know, so she's become one of my best friends as well. But going back to Lorraine, I remember the day before I was leaving, it was in the March, and it was my friends coming up to meet Lorraine's birthday. I remember meeting her in town, and we're sitting down, and I put a card on the table, and I just said to her, do you know what, I've got a better present than that card, because we always give each other money to go and buy ourselves what we want. She went, what? I said, I'm leaving. And she just went into floods of tears and went, oh my God, she goes, that is the best present. And me and Lorraine have been, you know, we've known each other since we were 7, 8. And at the age of 18, we've become really, really close friends. And she just cried and went, wow. She goes, that's the best present you've ever come and given me.
Wow, amazing. So what's next?
What's next for me?
Your current path. You've touched on it.
Yeah.
That, you know, you do the courses and you feel like that's your destiny. What's next? Or you're continuing on that journey?
I'm going to continue on that journey, and I would say, you know, never say never, because I haven't ruled out, you know, a partner, you know,
I love to hear that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yes, you will find love again. Yeah, and you will be open to it.
Oh, there's no, I have got a special.
Oh, lovely.
A special man in my life.
Good.
You know, a real special man, shall we say? Mm-hmm. But you know,
you could get. Okay, all right. That's interesting.
I might be getting one of your outfits.
How do people connect with you? Like, I'm more concerned about like other women that could be experiencing a similar situation, and they happen to stumble upon this conversation. And I know you're doing your bit to empower women, but you just never know. Somebody might want to connect with you based on this conversation. How can they get in contact with you?
You know what? I'm on Instagram. So I'm sure in the podcast you'll put my Instagram post
definitely.
out. Yeah,
I'll put a link to your Instagram.
Yeah, and I think the other thing, you know, going back to women who's actually was in my situation is, you know, people will shout at them, and you know, same thing. You know, why are they what? But the difference is as well, which this wasn't with me because there was no heart attached, is when your heart is attached to somebody, your head knows that all the things he's doing or all the things she's doing are wrong. But when your heart emotionally attached, it's hard to break away.
And that goes for both men and women.
Yeah, because it's your heart what to attach. So I know. So you know, if I'm speaking with a lady or a girl or what, I never ever, you know, all I'm doing is giving them the tools to work with. You know, we all have our own mindsets. You know, and I can't change your mindset. I can give you tools to work with, but I can't change it because your mindset is already fixed. And when you are
empowering women to kind of find
their
way.
Yeah, because when your heart attached, you've got to work on, you know, you've got to work on your heart. Because your head knows you're getting controlled. Your head knows that all these things are wrong. But your heart tells you a different thing because that is attached. And that's what it is, you know. So rather than judge and cut, you know, and tell people or women or men, you know, what they can and should be doing in this situation, they've got to listen to them and listen when they say, I know it's wrong. I know what they're doing to me, but please let me heart catch up with me mind or me head.
Yes.
You know, and that's what it's all about.
Wow. Right. I must say, at this point, I need some light-hearted, fun questions.
Let's go.
Because this conversation
Okay, I'm back to Esther now. Come on,
has
let's
been like
rock and
so
roll.
deep. And I tried hard to keep a straight face. Thank you so much for allowing this conversation.
You're welcome.
But before you leave me here, since fashion is my thing, and I'm glad that you love fashion, I know you do. So we're going to go on to have some light-hearted, fun questions,
Cool.
all fashion related. So firstly, I am going to ask you, is there any unusual or weird item that you carry around in your purse or in your handbag?
So, them ballet slippers, what you can fold into a little pouch.
Yes.
Because I will not go anywhere without a pair of heels on. But I've always got them in my bag just in case.
Do you know what?
Just in
When
case.
I was in London, I would never go on a night out without them in my purse because of the going up and down tubes and because we never really drove into central London for a night out. So yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Yeah.
But I've kind of got out that habit now. I tend to just have like trainers or flats in the car.
Yeah.
But yeah, that okay. Next question. Any item of clothing or accessory that you emotionally attached to?
Yeah. Oh my God, yeah. So I've got these beige pair of pants and I bought them when I was 18 and they are my scales.
You still have them?
Yeah.
Wow.
They're my scales though. I don't wear them.
Oh, okay.
So if I feel like I've put a couple of pounds on, I'll put them on. If they don't go on, I'm like, oh.
What size are they?
Back to fruit. I think they're around a 10.
Okay. All right. So that's a good.
yeah.
That's a good scale.
Yeah, and then when
For you anyway.
yeah, when they slip on, I'm like, okay, where's that chocolate biscuit?
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
so it's a beige pair of pants that they me scale that I put them on. And
Would
then,
they be coming out in January? After the festivities.
Oh no, do you know what? I don't even think I can put them on then because I know I'm going to cry if I put them on. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, is there anything in particular you like shopping for?
I can see Kelly in the background going, don't even lie, Esther, don't even lie.
What is it?
So I would say, shoes and handbag. Shoes and handbags is just my thing.
I have to say, I agree with you.
See?
And what do you hate shopping for? What? Go on.
So, do you know what? I'm trying to not look over there because I can see a hand flash. I can see a hand flashing by. Do you know what? If I was going to be really selfish, I would say going shopping with people because I'm quite selfish. I like to shop where I want to shop. You know, if I want to spend 2 minutes in a shop or if I want to spend an hour in a shop. So I'd probably say that I just like to go to town on my own because I like to be in my own stride. Yeah.
Oh, that's. I can understand that. I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last but not least, have you got a favorite fashion brand or shop that you like to go to?
Oh, it's got to be Zara.
Zara?
Love Zara.
Yes.
Yeah.
What do you like about Zara?
I just like the clothes, but bear in mind though, sometimes I do buy clothes from Zara and then I'll go and take them to the tailors and get them kind of.
Oh yes.
Just kind of.
No, I think it's really important to kind of, because most of the clothes are generally just made standard.
Yeah.
So it's always important to kind of, get
put your own little twist on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is one thing I do when it comes to my boutique. anytime anyone buys an item, it comes with free alterations, because I think it's important just to, give that little extra service and make sure that the item actually fits perfectly.
Yeah, put your own little twist on it, definitely. Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Last but not least, have you got any fashion-related questions for me? I know you're a fashion guru, but go on. Yes. I'm ready.
So, okay. So I am going to come to you and we're going to sit and design an outfit for me.
Oh, what's the occasion? Because
I love your colours for each day of the week. I love...
oh, good.
Yeah, so, I mean, so... I don't know. I'm trying to think what the occasion is. I'll make an occasion.
Okay.
Just so I can wear something from you.
It's about the design, right?
Yeah, yes. Absolutely. Brilliant. Yeah. Because I just love going into your shop and just seeing the different types of... Because you know what I think what I love about your design is you don't always know it's yours because you do that many different... Do you know what I mean? Whereas you can go into a shop and you know the designer because the clothes are very much...
I like to say that my aesthetic is experimental. So you've got that right.
Yeah. And I love your little African twist on it as well.
Oh, yes.
Little African twist on your clothes.
Love that I wore to London Fashion Week.
Yeah.
Gosh, I was so lucky that day that it was September. The sun was out because literally that dress was not made for a coat. So I got on the train at 5 a.m. to go all the way to London for Fashion Week in this dress, which had all these little curls there, all really stiff. And I enjoyed wearing it. And it was one of the prints, but it's not like the usual prints because I was like looking at the season and the time of the year, and it was like September. So it's not exactly winter yet, but we're not in summer anymore. But I nailed it with that one. So I do have fun with the print.
Yeah, lovely. Definitely. Yeah, I do love your so we say quirky little...
Yes, there is quirkiness in my designs. You've nailed it.
Yeah.
Well, we've come to the end of this episode, and I just want to say thank you again for allowing this conversation. And to our listeners, thank you very much for staying through this episode with me. And thank you for all the listeners that have listened to each and every episode. We appreciate you and we love you here. Don't forget to subscribe, share the episode and interact with us. And bye for now. And I think it's Christmas Day today.
Yeah,
I just want to say Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Bye for now. Explore your identity with Tayameaca.